What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 16 of Quoted by Tiff. So, today I'm going to be talking about self love. This show can be for men or women. Everybody needs to practice self love. It's how you elevate yourself in the world. And I'm going to share what I do to practice self love. And I'm going to give you guys a few tips on how to practice self love if you just don't know where to start. Um, Loving yourself is the highest form of honor that you can do for yourself. I'm talking about taking care of yourself. I'm talking about being there for yourself. We spend all this time being there for other people that we forget that we need love ourselves. And I'm always on social media scrolling that's how I come up with topics, actually, scrolling and seeing what people are talking about. And the main thing that I see is people talking about they feel slighted by people because they were there for them, but then when it came time for somebody to be there for them, they couldn't find anybody to help. So I think that when you love yourself, you attract people who love you as well. And I want to talk about that today because I think people get self-love misconstrued. A lot of people think, oh, I went to the spa, I did this. And yes, that's a form of self-love. But when I talk about self-love, I'm not talking about the exterior. I'm talking about loving yourself on the inside. Because a lot of people can put on these masks and they can put on all of this makeup and all these different clothes. And on the inside, they feel empty. They don't love themselves. I'm going to teach you guys a few things or a few ways that you can practice self-love so you can love yourself within as well as outside. Okay? All right. Let's go, y'all. Okay, so I remember a while ago when I was first getting into self-love, I thought self-love was like, stay home by yourself, put on your comfy PJs, binge watch a show, do whatever you wanted to do, basically. And that is a form of self-love, but that's outside self-love. And also sometimes escapism can be confused for self-love. And what I say by escapism, I mean doing things that help you escape from your current reality. So binge watching TV shows, that's a form of escapism. What do people do? Drinking, that's a form of escapism. Going to sleep all the time, that's a form of escapism. Like taking naps and things like that. It can be self-care, and self-love, but it could also turn into escapism. It can also be a way for you to escape your reality so you don't have to deal with it. So it's a fine line between self-love and escapism. Also, escapism is when you make you eat a lot, you eat your favorite snacks and you do it all the time. That can be escapism. Any kind of substance that you partake in and you overindulge in it, that can be escapism. That can be confused for self-love, but it's really escapism. When I talk about self-love, I'm talking about loving yourself on the inside, loving yourself for who you are, really, not who you show to the outside world. So I'm always talking about how people put on this persona for the outside world, and they feel like they have to be a certain way. They feel like they have to move a certain way in order for people to like them. Only come to find out, people don't even end up liking them anyway because they're not being themselves. A lot of times we have to understand that when we are not being our authentic selves, we are not going to attract in authentic people. That's why you see people always talking about, oh, that person's fake, that person's this. No, that person isn't fake. That person just does not resonate with who you really are. And if you were to practice self-love, you would know who you really are and you would not have any dealings with certain people. I'm the type of person personally that if you do not, once I figure out that you're not the person that I thought you were, I end it immediately. I feel like I like to have authentic people around me. And I feel like sometimes when we try to fit in with other people, we miss the opportunity to find and attract people who are like-minded, who are just like us. And I do a lot of cutting off. I do a lot of cutting off for different reasons. I feel like that's a form of self-love. loving yourself to know that you deserve a friend group that is genuine, that is true, that's not going to talk about you behind your back, that's not going to be plotting about you behind your back. You deserve real friends. And we all deserve real friends. And I feel like that's a part of self-love, making sure that you have people in your energy that are for you and not against you. That's a big way to practice self-love, making sure that you clear your circle out. Because again, you are responsible for hiring, firing, and promoting within your life. Nobody else is responsible for that. So if someone betrays you and you choose to stay dealing with them, whether you're in a personal relationship or a love relationship, then you've made that choice. You're not loving yourself. Because if you were loving yourself, you would not allow a person around you that treats you the way that they treated you. So I hear people say, I love myself, but they're still with a man that's been cheating on them 5, 6, 7 times. You don't love yourself. If you did, you would not allow anybody to do that, man or woman. You wouldn't allow anybody to do that to you. And that's okay. We've all been there, shit. I've been there before. I've been in that same situation before where I call myself loving myself, but I was allowing the people around me to do me dirty, to treat me any kind of way. And I had to step back like, hey, do I want to continue feeling like this, or do I want to love myself enough to walk away? And needless to say, I walk away. I don't mind walking away. Endings are just doorways to new beginnings in my mind. So yeah, you have to learn how to say enough is enough, love yourself enough to walk away from things that are not resonant with you anymore. Okay, so I just talked about friends and love relationships. Let's talk about family and practicing self-love. Okay, personally, I feel like I don't like anybody in my energy that is giving me any bad vibes, meaning when I come around you, I feel uncomfortable. We have to always make sure we're paying attention to our body and the way we feel when we go around certain people. If you get that weird feeling, that means that's probably somebody that you don't need to have around you. And I struggled a long time with that because I'm like, no, that couldn't be it. That couldn't be. No, it is. It could be the people that are closest to you that are betraying you. And you really have to be honest with yourself. Practicing self-love, it does come with a large amount of honesty to yourself. You have to ask yourself how you want to be treated, and you have to stand on it. Even if it's family, you have to stand on it. Sometimes people don't realize that just because we're related, that doesn't mean you can do me any kind of way. That doesn't mean that you can talk to me any kind of way. That doesn't mean that you can talk about me behind my back and I'm going to be okay if I find out. You have to stand up for yourself. And that's scary to some people because, again, family, we have to start looking at family as human beings and not as these special people. They are human beings just like we are. They are subject to flaws just like we are, just like your friends are. And we have to really, really be honest with ourselves and ask ourselves, is having these people in our energy draining us, or is it helping us? And that's the hardest question you have to ask, especially when it has to do with family. But nobody's perfect. And it's okay for you to try to mend a relationship with your family, but what's not okay is for you to subject yourself to attacks and to subject yourself to betrayal, all in the name of family. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to take a break from people, because sometimes people have to miss you in order to appreciate you. And I wholeheartedly believe in that. And that is a part of self-love, loving yourself enough to be treated kindly, to put yourself in situations where people are going to treat you kindly. And don't put yourself in situations where people are going to mistreat you. Okay, so another part of self-care is mental health and wellness. Health and wellness. I should just say that. Our health and wellness is like the highest form of self-care. That means you care about your body. You care about your vessel. You care enough to go exercise. You care enough to create these routines in your life that make you feel good. That's a big part of self-care, because that's something that you're doing for yourself. I do yoga every morning. I I'm starting this routine where I want to juice every morning. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't juice this morning. I juiced yesterday. I juiced the day before that. I didn't do it this morning because I had got real busy, but I'm actually going to juice tomorrow. One thing about me, if I fall off my routine, I just keep going like I didn't fall off. That's how I stay grounded. That's how I create consistency. Even if you mess up, just keep going. Okay, you messed up today. Okay, tomorrow will be better. Just do it tomorrow. So you have to put these practices in place that are going to make you feel full, that are going to make you feel whole, that are going to make you feel good about yourself. That means, again, routines. That means boundaries with people. That means taking care of yourself, putting the right things in your body. I'm not a person that tells people what to eat because I believe everybody needs something different for their nutrition. I really believe in eating for your blood type. That's why I feel like that everybody needs something different to eat. Other people love more protein, like red meat and beef, pork, chicken. I'm the type of person, I don't even have to eat meat during the day and I'll be okay. I can eat plant-based protein. I'm fine. I have to eat light. I'm not a person that needs to eat a lot of meat every day. And I know that about myself, and my blood type says that about me. So you really have to dive into who you are on the inside, health, from a health aspect and from a mental aspect. And you have to create these routines surrounding who you are. I don't believe in doing what everybody else is doing on social media. I tailor things to myself. And I feel like that's how you achieve that level of self-love, because you are researching things for yourself that are going to help you grow as a person. And as far as mental health, I feel like everybody needs, first of all, a lot of our mental health stems from boundaries. You don't have boundaries. You let people do anything to you, and then you go back to them expecting them to do something, expecting them to be different, and they end up being the same, and then you get mad at them. You cannot be mad at them. Be mad at yourself for not paying attention to the signs. If someone has shown you who they are multiple times, then most likely that's who they are. So you need to adjust the way that you deal with them. And that is a form of self-love. That's a form of you taking care of your mental health. Everything starts in the mind. So if you have things around you that are kind of causing chaos in your life and chaos in your mind, then it's up to you to remove those from your life, and so you can bring back a sense of normalcy in yourself. Okay, so we've talked about self-love when it comes to relationships, family relationships, and personal relationships. We've talked about self-love when it comes to your mental health, when it comes to your health and wellness, period. Now, with that, you have to ask yourself, do I really love myself? Sometimes you think you love yourself, but when you think about the things that you do to yourself, you have to ask yourself, do I really love myself? If I love myself, why would I put myself through that? If I love myself, why would I do this? If I love myself, why would I continue to do these things that are detrimental to my body as well as my mind? I think we all are going to be okay, y'all. We all go through things. I've went through that struggle as well. I am not exempt from that. One thing that I did do though, that helped me a lot, was I created boundaries. Boundaries was one of the biggest things that I did to show that I love myself, to honor myself, to say, hey, I don't want these people around me. These are not the type of people I want around me, and I am drawing a line. And sometimes you have to draw a line. I feel like if you're going to start anywhere, start with boundaries. Because once you create boundaries, you'll be able to think better. Sometimes when you have too many people around you, the chitter chatter, you pick up on other people's energy, and you can't tell your energy from other people's energy. Once you draw these boundaries, you will be able to feel what you need to feel, and you will actually know what you need to do. Okay, y'all, that's it. That's all I have for you. I just want to leave you with this. When you love yourself, you can grow. And when you can grow, you can be whatever you want to be in this world. There are no limits. But you first have to learn how to love yourself before you've learned how to love anybody around you. That's it. That's my time, y'all. I hope you tune in to episode 17 next week. And peace. Bye, y'all. Bye.